Hi divas, how are we doing today? Has anyone gotten on a tretinoin? I'm 26 years old and I'm finally getting on a tretinoin, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, like this is gonna be great. But I'm like preparing for the purging or the peeling, you know, the typical side effects that you apparently experience, okay? As I'm getting ready to film this video, I look and I'm like, I'm sorry, my chin's peeling. So I had to cover it up to the best of my ability. But if you start seeing dandruff of the face, my bad. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. We have a very important topic. So fun fact, this is one of my Pilates outfits. You know what I mean? I have been meaning to make a video on Pilates and this elitist mentality and thing that's been happening in the entire community, because unfortunately, I have also witnessed this, as many others on the internet have witnessed, the elitist growth of Pilates, the secluded group niche weird shit that's going on, trying to pretty much paint Pilates as this luxury type of workout, making it to be where it's not body inclusive, you name it. And this has been something that I've personally noticed before that has irked the hell out of me. And I wanted to do a deep dive on this and talk about it with you. Now, I want to make this really clear. Do not get this twisted, okay? This is not to shit on Pilates, as I am someone who pays for it and enjoys it, okay? But I think there is, of course, there are pros and cons with everything in every industry. And this is unfortunately one where I am seeing that there's this big dip when it comes to the representation of it. And I want to talk about it. Before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. You know, hang out with me on many other platforms, but let's hop into the deep dive. If you guys have or haven't been involved with Pilates, this was made by, I'm gonna like in the silliest way I can represent this, I'm not trying to disrespect Mr. Joseph here, but Joseph Pilates, he kind of had this idea, you know, you get bored. I know I get bored easily, so I have a lot of thoughts in my dome. So I figured that through boredom and perseverance, developed Pilates. Ta-da! Thank you, Joseph. Anyways, I won't get into the history too much because that's really not what we're here for. Pretty much, he developed this idea of working your body, better posture, good form stretching, and so much more to build strength, resistance, just like a good overall body workout, right? Which I agree, right? I get a pretty damn good workout out of going to Pilates and the reformer Pilates specifically. Now, I guess there is different versions of Pilates as well. If you guys aren't familiar, there's classical and there's contemporary. I guess classical is more of like the OG shit, whereas like contemporary is just a little bit more modernized. So that's where it originally came from. To spark this conversation, there was a video that I saw that thoroughly upset me. It was this creator by the name of Pilates Body Raven. Now, this is a content creator, and my goal is not to just like automatically shit on her, but I do think that to me, this sparked a conversation about Pilates, the elitist mentality with it, and the issues that I do think are getting curated because this trend of Pilates is becoming something so much bigger than simply a workout. So let's watch.
This is going to be an extremely hot take for my Pilates girls. I've seen a lot of commentary surrounding Pilates and proximity to whiteness, as well as disrupting the Pilates space in order to create more diversity and inclusivity. As someone whose entire purpose of my business, my brand goals is about providing accessible and affordable Pilates to a diverse demographic of women. That is what I started all of this on, so let's talk about it. What are some words that you think about when you think of like a really nice designer brand? I think of legacy, think about craftsmanship. I know a lot of the products are probably like handmade. People check them over and over again to make sure the quality is there, okay? The design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar, we pay our top coins for these designer items, right? Like you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates. And I know a lot of us who've just gotten into this, or maybe we're new instructors, we haven't been trained. Pilates is a legacy, okay? People have worked generations to preserve this method of exercise. To even just training an instructor classically through a good program takes 500 hours minimum, okay? Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap. That's why things like Legree and Solid Core are more successful, right? They took away a little bit of the craftsmanship of the reformer and turned it into a megaformer. Now I are a little bit less experience in training out of instructors. That's okay because now more people can do it, all right? And just to be clear, I am all for the accessibility of Pilates, but I do want some of the Pilates newbies to think a little bit more critically before we come on here talking about, oh, Okay.
Okay, so speaking of, now that we finished that video, let's think critically about all of the issues when it comes to Pilates, the pros, the cons, and everything, because this is exactly what I wanted to get into. Now, let's first talk about the vibe and the essence that a lot of Pilates classes are giving. Again, this is not saying all, but this is what we are noticing with trends. I think I've here and there mentioned things when it comes to internet trends and how there are some like trends, like for example, like the matcha and Pilates and like the Pilates princess vibe, where it's like pink outfits, which like, yeah, like I'm literally looking like that right now. Okay, I get it, but I'm on theme today. But you've seen that trend, right? You've seen that vibe and aesthetic. So you're noticing a specific pattern with what you usually are seeing when it comes to Pilates. For example, another trend that I noticed that makes me want to rip the hair off my big toe is when we play music that would be playing in a TJ Maxx or an H&M in a Pilates class. Y'all need to start playing the male manipulator music, okay? I need Future, Drake, Gunna, NLE Choppa. I need something. I'm so sorry. I cannot work out to Enchanted, but that's what you typically see, right? So when we have this very specific vibe, type of person, individual, everything coming into a class, when we see people who are built a certain way and look a certain way, it's probably going to give the vibe after a bit that this is something that only a specific demographic has access to or is going to be welcomed into. I walked into my Muay Thai class and I remember I saw a shit ton of men and I immediately was like, ooh boy. I did see some other girlies and divas there, thank goodness. But like, you know what I mean? Your first instinct is this may not be for me. So you either suck it up and hope it goes well, or you realize unfortunately that you're not exactly welcomed in that space. And unfortunately, we have seen aspects in Pilates where people have not been welcomed in, which we will be getting into that here soon when we talk about aggressive Pilates instructors, people who are just mean as hell, again, the elitist mentality, etc. But let's keep going. This idea of treating Pilates as luxury is something that's personally bothering me right now. I don't like this idea because when we treat the idea of movement as a luxury, we're getting really weird here. It's like the same thing as like treating basic necessities as luxuries. That's not normal. Maybe the location can be luxury, right? Like maybe getting your hair done could be a good experience, but the salon is a luxury one that provides more for you. Okay. Maybe the Pilates studio is a really luxury one. Okay, great. Maybe training is a little bit more expensive, which you're going to pay for more. That makes sense. But this idea of, oh, well, you would walk into Bottega and want diversity and include. Yeah, I would. I would hope so, because I think lots of companies should have diversity and inclusivity in a lot of their marketing. And I don't like the idea of labeling physical movement and workouts as luxury. Don't get me wrong, there's some people who maybe not be able to physically do something. I mean, I'm not physically able to do some things, and then there's modifications. But I think that's still incredibly weird. This video sparked a lot of controversy online, but again, added to my drive to want to talk about this because one, I really hate the fact that we do have such a bad rep around Pilates in general. And two, I am also really tired of the negative shit that is being represented in this community in itself. Because girl, I'm over it, okay? I don't even like that. So first, let's talk about the demographics and how narrow they are. So I know this is another example that I'm gonna pull this out, is there was a video that went viral of some other individual who decided to pretty much make jokes about if you're 200 pounds or something, you don't belong in a Pilates class. I don't know if those are her exact words, but it was something along the lines of if you didn't meet a certain perspective that she had, you shouldn't be in there.
If you're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. Or you shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut.
Now, mind you, that blew up. She got fired and she made a very piss poor apology. But that additionally didn't exactly make anyone feel better. It kind of reinforced the perspective that a specific demographic of people who look like me are just in Pilates classes and that's it. And so, yeah, I'm going to be honest, like I can't lie. When you look at a lot of Pilates classes or marketing, you see a lot of the very like Instagram model looking women. They're fit. They already look great and good to go. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You know, you could show off your progress photos, but when we see the marketing around it, it just looks, that's it. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like you're going to get anything else. And additionally, it doesn't help when we have scandals that pop up here and there of people treating it like it's a club, right? Which is another really weird thing that I'm noticing is it is almost treated like an exclusive club and trend at this point, which is really giving me the damn ick. It's almost like giving modern day sorority, like where you're paying a shit ton of money to be good and close knit with an entire group of people. Like if I'm going to be paying a lot of money, I sure hope I get a damn good experience at studio that I'm at, right? That should be a no-brainer. When we have fitness instructors who are not being very nice, when we have other coaches who think it's okay to talk behind their other people's backs, when we have others comparing and getting offended that you want inclusivity and diversity involved with workouts, then yeah, it's starting to feel like nobody else is going to be able to have access, or if they want to, feel even welcomed in those spaces. Next thing I want to talk about is the motivation around thinness is a new trend. Now, I have highlighted this when it comes to SkinnyTok, the skinny world, where everyone is really, really focused on getting as thin as physically possible. If you guys are interested in that video, I will link that in the description below. Now, this video is really interesting because it highlights how we do have a new trend of people focused on getting as skinny and small as possible, which I actually do think weirdly is connected to the Pilates world. So for me, why I go to Pilates is one, I like working out my upper body like this and my full body that way because I find it to be enjoyable, honestly. However, in my personal opinion, I like the idea of not getting skinnier, but getting stronger. Okay. I love that message. I think it's important. I like lifting. I like my Muay Thai right now. I've hopped into pole dancing classes here and there. I've also done Pilates, right? So this is like a fun thing for me. However, there is a new aspect of marketing that is connected to Pilates that is also connected with the idea of thinness. For example, there have been videos that have gone viral around, oh my God, I can't lift weights at all or do anything major when it comes to my upper body. Otherwise, I'll get bulky. So therefore, Pilates is the only answer. Now, I do like to have a smaller upper body, so I don't mind going to Pilates for that reason. But I also want to make it really clear that there's this really weird perspective that you're going to somehow get incredibly big, jacked, and bulky simply because you lift. And I'm going to tell you all right now, all the divas that I know that are jacked out of their minds, that are purposely wanting to bulk up and look bulkier, the amount of discipline, the amount of eating they're doing and lifting, you have to do that on purpose, okay? I struggle to leave a bag of Nerds gummy clusters in that damn pantry alone after I went grocery shopping. They don't usually last the night. That's why I don't buy them anymore. So you can't accidentally get bulky. But because I am noticing that there's this trend of getting thin and being small and skinny is best and skinny is sexy, I do think that there is an uptick with that when it comes to Pilates. And we see trends with bodies, as crazy as that is. Unfortunately, as awful as this is, I am noticing that the skinny influencers are specifically in Pilates classes. Again, Pilates should always be for everyone, but I'm noticing how those trends are like interlinking now, where we're seeing the girlies who are pushing toxic diet culture being in these classes. I mean, damn, also with the fact that we have like a huge uptick in things like peptides, Ozempic, which by the way, if you guys want me to talk about peptides epidemic, let me know. I would love to yap about that for a time. I do understand how this image is getting represented very clearly in the Pilates space because so many people are shooting to get a very unhealthily small level at this point. When we have an instructor or something get on TikTok bitching about somebody who isn't a size, 0, and then we have other people incredibly small, I absolutely understand how somebody could feel that this isn't a space for them. Additionally, I've also seen plus size instructors who have gone on and have made content about their Pilates instructing, which is so sick. I love to see that. And they have been made fun of in the comments horribly. I have seen things like, oh my God, if my instructor looked like that, I wouldn't be going in. I have seen comments that are like, clearly Pilates isn't working. And it is disgusting because if you feel like you're going to get made fun of in a comment section, I understand why you believe you wouldn't feel safe in an actual class going there. Everyone should be able to learn this regardless of your body type, your size, etc. This is like, there should be no argument around that period. Now, actually, speaking of learning, I do want to take a moment to talk about the sponsor of today's video. Okay, pausing this part of the video real quickly because I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is actually perfect timing because if you guys do or don't know, I'm going to be moving to Los Angeles in the next few months. And I've always wanted to get better at speaking Spanish. And fun fact about me, I actually can read and understand some basic levels of Spanish, but it's the part of speaking that I really struggle with. And I want to improve it because where I'm going to live, I actually can use this language far more and I'm really excited, which brings me to the app that I'm talking about today, which is Speak. So Speak is actually an app that helps you start talking out loud from day one. No matching little flags to words, no streak guilt tripping if you miss a day. It's an app that's incredibly user-friendly that's able to help you with your communication and expanding on your language learning. What's really fascinating about Speak is it actually builds a custom learning path according to you. So I was able to customize a plan that was going to make the best sense for me. And the part that I'm hooked on is the free talk aspect. So on the app, you're able to actually role play scenarios and you can practice out loud, like ordering at a coffee shop, meeting a new friend. And those are all scenarios I'm 100% going to be experiencing Another bonus about this is you can do this all hands-free. So for example, if I'm taking a walk, I can pop on my AirPods, or if I'm getting some work done, I can still work on my language learning skills. ¿Qué hiciste el domingo pasado? I don't know about you, but I was working on my Spanish. I've been doing about like 10, sometimes on a big day, 20 minutes a day. And I'm so excited because I've always wanted to be able to learn this language better, and I feel more confident in my skills. So if you guys are interested in working on learning a new language, just go to the link in the description below or pin comment and start your free week with Speak today. Thank you so much for Speak for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. The third criticism I want to talk about is the actual gatekeeping of the movement itself. There is a conversation that I've seen a lot, and this is something that's really irked me, is the shit talking and like rivalries between studios is getting out of hand. For example, oh my God, like I remember I was in a conversation with somebody where it was talking about how, oh, well, I would never consider this type of Pilates. I would only do this kind of Pilates. And then it's like, well, no, contemporary is correct. Well, classical is this. Well, it's constantly going of, no, mat Pilates isn't correct. Well, hot Pilates isn't correct either. Well, no, this reformer style isn't it, or well, no, we have to do, like there's this constant just, oh my God, it's a hamster reel of shenanigan bullshit, quite frankly, going on and on about this is the better version. You actually get worked out. That I'm telling y'all right now, as long as you're not physically hurting yourself and your instructor's doing a good job, I don't see the issue. I literally cannot fathom who gives a fuck. I'm so sorry. Who gives a fuck? Not me. You couldn't pay me to give a rat's ass. I don't know. I saw a reformer and I thought that looks like that's going to hurt. I'm in. Because it doesn't just feel like a class you're going to. Now you're sitting there going, shit, like what do I need to learn and understand? And am I doing it right? Is this okay? Mama, you're probably doing it just fine. Okay. Again, of course there could be some right movements, but also workouts are supposed to be jacked off with a little bit. I don't know. I do Muay Thai. I do pole day. I kind of goof it a little bit. Is if your body's moving, phenomenal, right? Of course, people are going to feel a little bit weird when there's so many different versions, but the versions are all going at each other. Like Diva, pick one you like and stick with it. The next thing I want to talk about is, and this one I have a personal problem with, is instructors that are just mean girls and the mean girl evolution leading into the Pilates world. This is something, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos here in a second, of I am so over this catty ass mean ass behavior. It is so nauseating to me. It is so creepy. I don't understand it. I don't know, raise up hands or comment down below. Sorry, I can't see y'all. But if you guys have ever gone to a group class, you can understand that it's something a little bit nerve-wracking. For me personally, I have had really bad social anxiety before. I'm trying to overcome it. Yay. I'm pretty damn brave now. But before, I remember, for example, feeling bad taking a pause if a workout was a little too hard for me. I felt embarrassed if I couldn't keep up. I'm telling y'all right now, I did take a heated class when I was I think I was in college. I did one time for shits and giggles. I about passed out during it and I felt like I was going to die. And mind you, a mom of 3 was next to me and I did not know how. I was like, wow. I was shocked. It humbled me. I had to lay on the bathroom floor of a public bathroom. It was not good. Okay. It was really bad. But anyways, so I've been humbled severely by these kinds of classes before. You understand the nervousness to speak up, to try something new, and getting into the gym or working out is something that is a little bit challenging for some people. I know I still get anxiety about trying new things. So with that in mind, you would assume that an instructor would be nice and supportive and understanding of that, and wanting to welcome people into the space. Wrong. There are some instructors who literally treat it like in boot camp. Yeah, honey, we are not at Fort Pilates. We're at Pilates Studio 101 on Main Street, okay? We're not going to war. We're working out and doing deep core exercises. Big difference, Diva. But some of these people are not nice.
I've taken over 300 Pilates classes, and I think this class just taught me why some people don't like Pilates. And it's honestly based on the instructor. Okay, I took a new instructor today. I usually take like the same 3 to 4 instructors. I was like, let me take a new one. Let me give this girl a chance. I'm available. Let me hop in. That was the worst Pilates class of my life. Like, it was terrible. And the reason it was terrible was because my studio, there's 3 levels: level 1, level 1.5, level 2. I usually take level 1.5 and level 2. This time I was like, let me take a level 1. I just want to stretch, get like a nice breather from Pilates. Guys, I'm drenched in sweat. And thank God, like I've taken over 300 classes because I could keep up with the instructor. During the class, like people are looking at each other confused because they're like, they don't understand what this lady's saying because the terms that she's saying, they don't know the terms yet. Because some people, like when they're on level 1, like this is their first time taking Pilates. So then they're looking at me as an example. But sometimes like the way she was explaining the movements, it wasn't making any sense. So I'm like, bro, I've taken so many classes. Like I'm really good at like knowing all the terms and like knowing what to do.
but she wasn't like saying the right, it was so weird, guys. And to make matters worse, she was being really rude. Like people that were, you know, they're like learning, she was like correcting them, but when she would correct them, she was like making fun of them. Like she was laughing, and she was like, and one girl, like this was her first ever Pilates class, and she told the instructor that like, oh, this is my first one, like I'm a little nervous. And lady's like, oh, this is your first one? Like complaining. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? Don't discourage her. Do you want her to cancel her membership? Like, what? Pilates is so good, but you have to have a great instructor, because if you don't, they can really ruin it for you. And I'm happy, like, I talked to the girl after class, and I'm like, you know, don't cancel, like, take this instructor, she's my favorite, and like, you'll feel better next time. Like, I just feel like workout instructors that belittle people in the class, like I get the tough love thing, but like you don't have to like belittle people and make fun of them, especially when they're trying something that's like intimidating. Like Pilates is intimidating for a lot of people. So if you're gonna go and like belittle people, like that's just so frustrating to me. If you're a Pilates instructor that does that, do better. It's not helping you as an employee, because people don't take your class, they're gonna look and be like, oh, we don't want her because no one's taking her class, or you're gonna lose your job because people are gonna write bad reviews about you and complain. That's just kind of like,
okay, so I just paused that, but that is one example of what I'm talking about, of shitty ass instructors that are not doing their job well. When we have Pilates studios that are trying to charge a pretty hefty amount, which a lot of them should be, considering a lot of credentials I will get into in a minute, but when they're charging a lot and they're trying to give the vibe that this is a luxury experience, that this is a really good thing that you can go to every single evening or every other day, whatever floats your goat there, babe. It really pisses me off when some instructors do not act like they're there to instruct, but they're there to get their egos off. And that is another problem I'm noticing in the Pilates community, is there are some instructors who, instead of being kind, being understanding, reminding you that you're doing a good job, reminding you that you can modify, that you can, you know, do what you can, work with you, you know, correcting your form, right? That's another really big thing. And so they're just being straight assholes. So if you are one of those people where you're not good with human beings, you're kind of an asshole, you're a D1 dickhead, maybe don't take the 500 hours in training to become a Pilates instructor. Hot take, maybe do something else, but don't be bothering everyone and their damn hard-earned money because you can't do your job right. Now, here's another example. This one sent me to the moon. Oh my God.
Take a deep breath in, press into your palms, just stack your legs to the back. So just think about squeezing everything to the center. Press your feet, close your legs, point your toes. Take a deep breath in. We're not in a shoulder stand. You lower each vertebrae all the way down. Now hug your knees into your chest. Let's rock up to a seated position. Listen, we're not in a shoulder stand. Can we come out of this? Again, there's direction. When I say don't lift your legs up, don't lift them. We're not in that. You're going to hurt yourself because I'm not giving you this direction, all right? From here, you're slightly lifting. You're literally just stacking your legs behind you. Don't worry about going up. Slightly lifting. You're literally just stacking your legs behind you. Don't worry about going up. You're just lifting your hips slightly. It's all, like I said, it's all right here. It's your core. You're depressing the ribs that flare out because you're arching your back, which most of you are, and that will hurt your low back. Depress them. You're pressing the bottom of your back into your mat. That way you can start to squeeze and lift your hips and press them back, all right? We're not doing this. If you start to do things that I'm not offering and you get hurt, that's on you. Do you realize that? I want to just give you that awareness. I understand that this is, you get to do what you want to do, but this is also physical fitness. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Sounds good? I love you all. I just want to, there's a lot of you in here. I can't just be like, wait, you over here, don't do that, you over here, don't do that. Let's just all do it together. Sounds good? I want you all to know what's going on. This is a lot of people's first time doing this, new feelings, so just listen, all right? Back. Now stay right here, squeeze your glutes, lift your legs straight up, jackknife. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press into your palms, lower straight down. Maybe legs go down to 45. Inhale, legs to waterfall. Exhale, stack your legs to the back. Stay here or inhale, jackknife, straighten up the legs. As you exhale, press into the palm. As you lower all the way down. Maybe legs go to 45. Inhale, legs to waterfall. Exhale, stack to the back.
So that is a perfect example of, in my opinion, what not to do. Number one, if you're saying that a lot of people clearly don't know what they're doing and you're the instructor, maybe take it back a notch and make it clear and don't just, act like you're calling somebody out specifically. Two, why are we doing this? Like, it just did not sound nice. It just sounded like you were just being an asshole right there. That just sounds like you're not doing a really good job of your instructing. It just sounds messy as hell. The comments were honestly in agreement of that exact problem, but this is what I'm talking about, where it doesn't feel nice. It feels like you're back in middle school getting called out by your teacher. And this also leads to a conversation about hot take. There are some people who should not be instructors or should not be leaders or bosses. Some people are just not built for that, and that's perfectly fine. If you don't have the patience or the understanding, that's okay. But you need to be self-aware enough to do that, not waste people's damn money and time, okay? And we're doing too much here. Another video says, this is me before a Pilates instructor called me out for being new and telling me I shouldn't have been in the front row, to getting asked if I wanted a free pastry after venting to my friend over brunch about it. I know not every Pilates student is doing this. Now, please do not take this personally, but this is becoming a bit more frequent occurrence where I even hear friends that complain about Pilates instructors and other negative experiences that they have. And we really, especially for how much money so many people are paying for these classes, that is entirely excessive. Workouts and fitness should be able to properly be guided by a right instructor who is going to support you through your entire journey, because fitness is very individual and some people are going to struggle to maybe pick up something and learn, and that's okay. You're not supposed to know everything up front. And that's, I think, also what prevents people from going into classes or trying anything new. Mindset of we have to be phenomenal at everything from the get-go prevents us from trying and screwing up and learning. And then last but certainly not least, the literal price of everything. Now, there's some pros and cons of this that I want to highlight. I know there's some Pilates studios that I personally was like, there's no way in hell I'm going there, because it's like $400 a month. It is like insanely expensive. And after a bit, I have to wonder when some places are charging a little bit too much. When it comes to Pilates classes and so much more, the training is pretty damn intensive. There are many people that will do hundreds and hundreds of hours, and that can cost thousands of dollars to get their certification. The equipment can be pretty pricey. So those are things that I completely understand why that would be a big requirement for some people. There are smaller classes there. They can be more one-on-ones. There are other factors why that price is actually going to make sense, but I completely fathom why some people are completely turned off by that, because it's just too much. Additionally, another aspect that is involved with the price is ClassPass. So for example, I actually love ClassPass. I use ClassPass all the time. That's how I found my Muay Thai class and all that kind of stuff. That also is allow it to be a little bit more accessible, but that's also connected to the conversation around the click type of experience, because if you're from ClassPass, you're coming and just trying it again, sometimes you don't feel as welcomed or treated the same, unfortunately, if you're not actually a member. So again, this is like still reinforcing the negative feelings so many people have. Now I want to get into the actual defense of thoughts of things and positives when it comes to Pilates itself, and some things that I don't think are talked about enough. So I don't want to automatically have this perspective that the instructors are just automatically the enemy, but I do think that there are some studios in general, or owners of studios, who absolutely get money hungry and absolutely try and pin the problem between the consumer and the instructor, instead of actually trying to make it really well aware that maybe it shouldn't be costing that much. Another defense I want to give is the equipment is actually really expensive. Now, don't get me wrong, so are many other gym pieces and equipment as well. I think a reformer can go from like $3,000 to $8,000 if you're buying a nice one. Now, I will say there have been some studios that have allegedly been caught purchasing theirs off of DHgate, Temu, something along that line. Buy it cheaper, poorly made, just to kind of make up for that cost, which I don't think is necessarily fair. If you are actually getting a good studio, it's going to be pretty damn expensive. So that also can factor in the cost, because you have to pay off, rent, pay off the actual, equipment. If let's say you have like 24 times, like let's say $5,000, you do the math, that's a lot of money that you have to actually knock out when it comes to a studio. But at the same time, a well-established studio probably won't struggle as much if they don't have to pay off all that back. Another thing that they don't mention though, are like a lot of these machines are going to require some levels of maintenance, like springs, repairs, and so much more. So again, that's something else to keep in mind. Another defense I want to give is because some of these classes are smaller, that's also going to jack up the price. So at least with like another regular gym, there are going to be a lot more people that go. More people are able to, if like the membership is, let's say like $50, $70, and you have a ton of people going to the gym consistently and spending that every single month, it's so much easier to cough up that price, rent, etc., paying employees, you get the vibe. Whereas if it is more of a smaller, like let's say you got 6 people in a class, 10 people in a class, that is probably going to jack up the actual price, especially if it's more like one-on-one in private instead of a big old massive thing that you're doing like a public public gym. And another defense I want to give is the workout itself is not the problem. I want to make that clear. I know I'm calling out some of the culture and some of the people that are involved with it that have kind of made this feeling around Pilates to be elitist and just weird and like a little clique that you can't exactly join in, or like in a special club you have to pay tons and tons of money for. The workout itself is not the problem. It's just now it's developing into something, depending on where you go, that can be incredibly toxic and just weird. Now let's kind of wrap it up with some of my other takes when it comes to Pilates in general and what I think really is going on right now. I personally believe that when it comes to Pilates, it has been, of course, as we see every year, every single time on this channel, a new trend or something will pop up and somebody will take something positive and turn it into negative. And I do believe that people will turn something like Pilates into weird little culty thing going on, as silly as this is. We've seen that with essential oils, seen that with skincare, right? And the skincare walls and the overconsumption of like the 20-step skincare routine. You know what I mean? Like we've witnessed this across the board with anything involved with health and wellness. This is just the current one that we're witnessing right now that's kind of taken the like fitness world by storm. The studio prices are pretty damn expensive and it is hard for you to find an affordable Pilates class. And then with the judgment around it with some instructors, I do think that this is making people starting to hate it, even though the concept itself isn't wrong. What I am saying is there's always room for improvement. And I think that it has, because of this new wave of finding special things and finding luxuries, basic things like workouts are turning into luxuries, which then are leading into these clique perspectives. So if you want to go, girl, go. If you want to try it, go for it. If you want to go get a friend and go test out this new class or this new place, please go for it. And if someone bothers you, do not and let them bother you, first of all, because you guys are both paying for the same damn class. You guys are both putting on an outfit and working out the same damn 45 minutes or whatever, okay? Do not ever let somebody make you feel like shit because of your size, because of your mobility, because of anything like that, okay? You're going and trying, and I think that's incredibly impressive. Don't let any person attending or instructor there make you feel bad if that's the case. And if they do, that is your sign to walk away and to leave them a shitty ass review on Yelp, okay? Do not ever let somebody make you feel like shit, because do not give those people power. On the flip side, I have also met amazing people who are lovely, who do have a lovely disposition and are happy and amazing to be there and support you. I know the instructor that I've been around when it comes to the Pilates studio I have gone to, phenomenal, love her. She's super cool. I think moral of the story is finding your vibe, but at the same time, there is a big importance with calling out the toxicities with these groups. And I do think that I don't want that to go unnoticed, because I don't believe that people who are instructors that treat, those who attend a class like shit should be in those positions. They need to go get they need to do something else, okay? If you're not going to have customer service forward, if you're not going to be being an educator, if you're not going to be a good person, get the out. At this point, I'm about ready to become a Pilates instructor just so I can make a really good playlist and just so I can be like a good vibe. Maybe I'll do that someday just for shits and gigs. And I collect side quests like Thanos, so maybe. And also, I know that because it's a trend, some people are like, maybe I shouldn't because it's a trend. Girl, if you want to do it, do it. I think we're getting to a point where we're overcomplicating working out a little bit too much. Pick your vibe, okay? You are not weaker than or less than or not good enough because you're new or you do something, whatever the case may be, just do it. So to wrap this all up, is Pilates kind of elitist? In some ways, I think yes. I think some people, depending on the studio and instructor, it absolutely can be and make you feel like you're not good enough. Is the general workout and everyone there a part of it? No, not at all. Do I think that there needs to be a big improvement when it comes to diversity with people that don't look like me in these classes? Absolutely. And I want to see an uptick on that, because working out should be for everybody, period, okay? And I do not want to see studios leaning into just showing people that look like me or catering to people who look like me. Can it be better? Yeah. Should you quit Pilates? No, that's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm hoping to just create some general discourse in hopes that anyone who comes across it can feel empowered to do it, and also be aware to advocate for themselves and to leave places that don't actually feel good to you, and also to call out the shitty ass studios who are a little bit weird, because I'm telling y'all right now, if I come across a weird one, good luck, because I don't shut up to save my life, and I do have a platform or two that I will yap about. So that was it for my little mini deep dive on the elitist mentality and weird things that go on in Pilates. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if you guys have had like a good experience, a bad experience. If you've had any other things that you think about when it comes to this topic, let me know. I love my fellow Pilates instructors. I love my people that go. I love my people that don't give a fuck either, okay? I hope you have a great week. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Love you all tons. Don't forget to check out the sponsor. Speak in the link in the description below and pin comment. I will see all of you beautiful human beings in the next video, okay? Love you. Bye.